Hey y'all, good afternoon. Thank you for joining me, Dorothea, on Through an Orthodox Christian Lens. It is December 16th, 2025. In an interview by 60 Minutes about 11 months ago, which I did not watch at the time, I just happened to catch it this morning, a clip of it from the Jimmy Dore show, I found what the Mossad Whistleblower was saying in this interview. Quite shocking, quite chilling, and how it actually lined up with our saints and holy elders on the issue of Zionism and the Jays, which is the JEWS, what they've said on this, and I'm going to share what the Mossad Whistleblower had to say first. So I'm going to go there. So how Israel's Mossad tricked Hezbollah into buying explosive pagers. This is what this interview was about. But I want you to listen to what he says. And it's obvious reason why he's covered up and altering his voice. Because I can imagine he would probably be a dead man if he had spoken and they knew who he was. Okay, so here we go.
Of creating foreign companies that have no way being traced back to Israel, shell companies over shell companies who affect the supply chain to our favor. We create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors, we're the producers, we're the main actors. The world is our stage.
This is Mossad.
Okay. We're the directors, we're the producers, we do the script. The world is a stage. And I'm gonna play that part one more time because it's so shocking.
A global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors, we're the producers, we're the main actors. The world is our stage.
This is Mossad.
The world is our stage. So he's saying that they conduct and control the world. That's what I got out of that. So, in listening to that, let's go first from the book. I don't have it with me because it's packed, so I had to bring it up in a PDF file. Spiritual Awakening book, where Elder Paisios is interviewed by pilgrims and also basically the nuns from the convent that he actually helped create, was the main elder to do that. So somebody asked, Yarenda, do the Zionists believe what is said about the Antichrist? He says, they would like to govern the whole world. They would like to govern the whole world. Now, this is back in the early 90s that he's speaking about this. Mind you. They would like to govern the whole world. What did we just hear from this Mossad whistleblower? To achieve their goal, they will use even sorcery and Satanism. They see the worship of Satan as a power that will help them achieve their goals. They will seek to govern the world with satanic power. They do not consider God in their schemes. So, he says also, but will they be blessed by God in their efforts? God will bring a lot of good out of this situation. Some other satanic theories at least held sway for about 70 years, but they won't even last for 7 years. Interesting. So, that's basically what he has to say about them. So that's Elder or Saint Paisios's. Now he says other things, but this is the main thing. Okay, this this portion here, and they use black magic, sorcery, Satanism. Okay. Now let's go to what Elder Joseph Vadapudi had said in a 2001 interview that I have talked about before. He says, and he's talking about the wars, and there will be a war and wars, and we will experience great difficulties. World power has now been seized. Can't make it. I can't highlight it. World power has now been seized by the Jays, and their goal is to annihilate Christianity. The wrath of God will be such that all those secret foes who are bringing about this state of affairs will be destroyed themselves. So, he says that up there. The world has now been seized by the Jays. Which basically was what St. Paisios said, and what the Mossad Whistleblower is basically saying. Down here, he says, the movers and the shakers of this evil. It says, this is the beginning of these events, troublesome events, military ones. The movers and the shakers of this evil are the Jays. And I'm sure they're all talking about these fanatical sorts, okay? Not your average ones. They are being prompted to do this by the devil in order to start this, in order to destroy the seed of orthodoxy in Greece and in Russia. This will be their chief obstacle to world domination. And they, nevertheless, will compel the Turks to come here to Greece in order to begin their work. So, and then he goes on about what happens in the prophecy that St. Paisios has said on that. One other one is Elder Justin Parvu. What does he have to say about them?
The Jews rule the world, and the Americans work for them, believing they have come to dominate it because they have no more shame.
Okay, so he's saying the same thing. And as we can tell, it's obvious that, and I think he said this in like 2009, yeah. So, this is not like too long ago. So what we understand is this is exactly what is happening. More so, more overtly, we can see this in the past decade at the most. But it's just become even more apparent and worse. But you could say that their prophecies on this have been fulfilled, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you say that? Now, as St. Paisios said, it's not going to last at this time because Christ is going to intervene in the Great War, World War III, and that in his comments on this in another video, or a video that shows more detail on St. Paisios' words, prophetic words on the World War. That's World War III, that's on the cusp right now. He basically says that everybody meets down in Jerusalem, outside the walls of Jerusalem, and then he had said, and then it's then that the Jays will understand their mistake. So, with all that's going on with our country being basically, especially the administration right now, being owned by the Jays, the Zionists, really, not just the Jays, because we're talking about the fanaticals. So it's a certain group of Zionists that are like that. And then, of course, you have the Christian Zionists. And this all is showing the power. Now, they're having some difficulties with that recently, and how they've been struggling to keep that after the death of Charlie Kirk. But we can see this. We can also see this in Europe, in a lot of countries, that, look at the Middle East. They're all under the thumb of them and us. And so, except for Iran and Lebanon to a little certain extent. But anyway, what do you all think on this? Do you think, hey, I mean, it was kind of surprising to hear this whistleblower, this Mossad whistleblower, speaking, in the same words, not the exact same, but the same words. If you look at what they're saying, it means the same thing, of our elders and the saints. So, please share your thoughts on this. What you think on this? I thought it was quite amazing, quite revealing. And do you think this was a prophecy that has been fulfilled thus far? Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for following my channel. And thanks for subscribing, for your comments on my videos. They're very helpful, insightful. And I like to do these videos for two reasons: for informational purposes and also to spark discussion, because that's a great thing to do. It's a great thing to have. It's a great thing to have in this time, and especially because dialogue and all that is not what it used to be when I was growing up. But anyway, we're trying to make it so. Okay.